fucking with it right. Here with who I started with, be something like I'm Spartan. It's going hard regardless. I'm from the 826 plus 5. Mo bitches, H-Ray, Central Coast, mobbing suicide, always arsonists. I step in the booth and cast, I gotta keep it lit. Engineer all my music, I work hard at this.
That's right, live on Chicano Tube, back live on Chicano Street. I appreciate mi beautiful linda raza that's happening on Monday. Pinche calorón, te digo. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Hit that pinche like, hit that subscribe. Gracias to all the day oneers. Gracias to everyone in the members only. The members only are the backbone of the community. You already know who you are, man. Let's go ahead and get the conversation going. But before we do that, I want to touch on at least one or two things. I saw that come across my feed, cabrones, as you guys started to trickle in the comments section. And yeah, just to let you know, this is why this is Chicano Tube. This is why this is Chicano Street. And I love the conversations, gente. I love the conversations. Why? Because every time we have a conversation, I get something out of it. And that's what I'm trying to do, at least on the internet. Never have I said I'm the ultimate authority. Never have I said I'm King Chicano. Never have I, none of that, none of that. It's just there was no one else on YouTube that was going to step up to the plate and give people a stronger sense of identity for those that want the message, right? Not everyone is in the Chicano genre. I saw myself not fitting in to any other genre, and I pretty much had to make my own table on YouTube. And there's other people that have now joined the table, which is cool. An example, well, like Tony A, right? Even though he's closing soon, cabron, don't go, cabron, don't go. Even though he's closing soon, I would consider like Tony A in the Chicano genre, and many others, right? Not the pendejos, not the pendejos, or not the ones that are misguiding our youngsters or telling stories of the good old days that were actually the bad old days. But anyways, oh, I gotta find some shade now. Chingado. Whew. All right, now that I found some shade, let's see what's going on in the comment section. That's right, Corco Door Security. I appreciate you, my boy. Nope, I'm live from the Garden of Memories, cabron. You know, the raza here, or at least the raza in the Alisal, which is East Salinas, the Alisal district. We go to Healy Mortuary when the loved one gets lost. And then, of course, we get buried right here at the Garden of Memories, which is on the east side, borderline south side, but it's on the east side. That's where I'm at, cabron. And I'm not eating, cabron. I started a 3-day fast. I don't know if you remember when I said this 2 or 3 months ago. I do once a month, I do a 72-hour water fast. Even though one of my real estate mentors, he tried to talk me into doing it for 4 days. I'm like, whoo, 3 days already gets you a little bit woozy. But there's major benefits from 72-hour fast. It resets fast. It resets your colon. It resets your immune system. And some of us that have chronic disease in our family, like kidney disease, everyone has kidney disease. Everyone is having kidney transplants in the family, or everyone has diabetes. Everyone has diabetes in the family, etc. Or heart issues, which is the biggest killer of the raza. A 72-hour fast once a month would do miracles for you. Now, it's better if you stay dieting and keep, on top of your pinchy health. But the way it is right now, everyone just wants to party every weekend, and fucking everyone just fucking wants to die by the time they're 55, I guess, just to take photos of all the drinking adventures they had on the weekend. I say chales with that. I say we elevate ourselves, we elevate our consciousness when it comes to health. But this is not a health channel, so cálmase, cabrones. But we will speak on health, right? Anyways, I appreciate you, cabron. There's a pinche freeway exit. Well, yeah, that's the hood exit way. The hood has its own exit. They put it in and out. They put everything right there, which is good, man. It's a good thing. You know what I mean? There ain't no gentrification ever gonna happen on the Alisal. Forget about it, gente. You could just forget about it. Just like there's never gonna be an Antifa coming down the Alisal. They know where they choose certain cities where they could pick their broncas that the people won't rise up. But in Salinas, yeah, it ain't happening. The people are like chale tamale with all that shit. But anyways, Risky business in the casa. I appreciate you, cabron. Gracias for tapping in the other night, cabron. I appreciate you. I appreciate Josh, the homie hangout. Gente, we did an open live. I'll be doing those maybe about once a month. For everyone asking me to jump on Chicano Street, that's a great opportunity to at least introduce yourself, at least make an introduction of who you are, at least here on Chicano Street. Here we get into, first of all, culture, identity, pride. That's the first thing. Second of all, we'll touch on some cheese, man, mix it up with some politics, mix it up with some current events, some trending news, etc. All of that. But let's see what he says. It's 2024. Y'all still can't agree on what Chicano is. What's wrong with just saying Mexicano? Beautiful. I'm glad you said that way. I was just well before I get there, cabron, and I'm gonna miss a lot of comments. I wanted to mention something that I saw. There was a Chicano that just went on Hoodstocks yesterday, and so bona fide, right? Because he both parents are Michoacanos, so both parents are Tarascos, and he was born. And we'll get to what a Chicano is in a little bit, cabrones. And this is just rehashing it. I'm sorry, resurging it because it's resurged across my feed. A lot of people are asking. That's great, gente, because I'm actually hoping that as people inquire about identity and what Chicano is, that they'll teach that to the kids and let them know, and go to the merch store and or no, you don't have to go to the merch store. Go fucking go to Amazon. Don't go to my store and get a Chicano flag, okay, and teach them identity. We'll get to that right now. But first off, Chito Ranas, he was on Hood Stocks. It was a great interview. Pinchy Lucky, he tries his best, to he's funny. He tries his best to come out with these bullet points, and it's gonna go like this. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but it's all over the place. It's all over the place. But that's good, And he's drinking a Modelo, so same old Lucky. Okay, good, good. It's gonna be good. I knew it was gonna be good. So the first thing I wanted to point out in that interview is when he said about that youngster pulling a cuete on him when he had his baby daughter. Now, I didn't see the whole thing. I saw about an hour, maybe less. No, not even an hour, probably 30, 45 minutes. When he's holding his daughter, okay, and a youngster pulls out a cuete outside of the car window and he has his daughter in his hand, I'm telling you that shit that I never saw. I never saw that. I gave so many passes to ops again because I was taught this. Again, those of us that were raised in the 90s, that means you had your teenage years in the 90s. If there was any veteranos out on the calles and they would teach you this, you just don't do that. I gave many people passes. Oh, this is a motherfucker right here at the Northridge Mall. Ooh, we got one. Wait a second. He's pushing a stroller. Oh, wait a second. Oh, boom. The swap meet on Alisal. We got one. Wait a second. He's with his mother. So that's the kind of shit that's out the window right now. There's no structure. There's no nothing happening. And basically it's because by the end of the 90s, everyone got wiped out. No one else was on the calles anymore. And it's a free-for-all. So that doesn't surprise me. But if that youngster had any kind of guidance, someone would have put him up on game and said, it's kind of like what the Bible says, okay? You gotta treat others as you would like to be treated. You don't want a fair one? I want a fair one. I'll take a fair one any day, any day. And I was always taught a fair one is what men do. Okay, this 3-on-1, 5-on-1, yeah, that happened every once in a while. But a fair one, I'd rather say, okay, you got 4 homies. Okay, who's first? If they pack you out, well, it's too late. Then you can't pick. Saludos, machete. That's right, Carnal. No one ever agreed on what Chicano is. All right, perfect. I'm glad. Now let's go ahead. Well, let me see. Did I finish everything with Chito? Well, shout out to Chito Ranas. He's a Chicano. Shout out to him. He's making feria, and it sounds like his head is in a better place. All the drogas that he was talking about doing, absolutely, all those drogas are gonna cloud your mind. Matter of fact, I mean, anytime he pop any of those drogas, there was a chance he wasn't gonna wake up. So is that worth it? Hell no. That's why I tell the pinchy youngsters, once you get a pill inside of you, it's too late. It's too late. One of the stupidest thing you could ever do to the youngsters, and they know this. I preach this every month to the juvenile hall and the camp. The stupidest thing you could ever do is put a pill inside of you. Once you get a pill inside of you, it'll consume you from the inside out. And by the time you want to put a stop to it, it's over. Unless they got you to the hospital fast enough and stuck shit in your arms, IVs, something to counteract the droga, it's over. It would be completely over. So I'm glad, that he's alive for one. He sounds like he's settled. He has a girl, he has a kid, and he doesn't want to be a tough guy anymore. I'm not taking anything away from him. It's just called maturity. It's not like Alvin, who still he doesn't understand. Well, he's still talking about dropouts, this and what can you come back to your hood and all that. Alvin, you've done all the talking. That's why you don't have this sklecha. You don't have this sklecha. What I'm about to say right now, Alvin. You do all this talking, and you volunteered yourself to get rid of those problems. Why don't you just do something about it and shut up? Oh, because you never got that game. So you're just gonna be an internet banger. Well, we all know you're a clickbaiter because someone sent me a clip and they said, Droops leaves hater world. Just so you can lose your fucking time out of your day to watch his whole video, which he loves the watch hours. Well, of course we do, right? Those of us that want the feria. It wouldn't surprise me if Alvin fucking did a caption just so you can watch it, right? Um, um, Stomps backstabs Lucky, just so you can watch the whole fucking live of him flipping from politician to gangbanger, and it wasn't even true. Me personally, I would unsubscribe and get pissed off of that. I got too much shit to do to be fucking clicking on videos that are just that they're clickbaiting me. I don't fucking got the time. Don't clickbait me. I'll get pissed off. If I ever do that, por favor, just unsubscribe and do yourself a favor and don't waste time, man. It could be your last fucking couple of heartbeats and you want to waste it on fucking Alvin making up lies just so he can get your view. So officially, he's a clickbait channel. So there's two. Banda World is one, and now Alvin is getting in the clickbait world. And that's up to him. We'll get into Chicano right now, cabron. Hold on. I got a bunch of comments I haven't even read. Baby love, I appreciate you. Amiga Maxine's in the casa. That's right. Young Sex. That's right, cabron. You have to be from California. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. Let's go ahead and segue into this, okay? Cabrones, the reason why I say here on Chicano Tube, we give verified check marks for anyone that's claiming to be Chicano is because I am not confused, not even one bit, not one grain of sand, not 1/10 of 1% out of 100 am I even confused. I'll tell you why. I grew up with the majority of my friends being in the exact same situation. The situation being is, hey, our parents are from Mexico, but we're born here. All of my friends, let's say fucking 9 out of 10, maybe even 10 out of 10, right? Why I say 9 out of 10 is that one out of 10 could be a Chicano, but he's not first generation now. He's second, he's third, he's fourth. That means he kept the Chicano identity because it was Chicanos having children. That means moms, whose parents were born in Mexico or great or grandparents were born in Mexico, hooked up with a dude whose parents were born in Mexico, grandparents were born in Mexico, etc. They're just not first generation. Now, yes, the more it goes down, the further lineage, the further the generations get away from being born in Mexico, the more watered down it is, and the more confused a person can be. Don't take offense. Don't take offense. How are you gonna fucking get mad, at a fucking textbook that's just giving you facts? The book is just there. You could read it if you want. You could acknowledge the facts or say fuck it, but don't get mad at the fucking writer of the textbook. They're just teaching class. Anyways, so yeah, all that's why I'm not confused. All of my friends were in the same similar situation. Okay, now, so again, a Chicano, 100%. Mark my words. This is it. Okay, everyone has opinion. That's great. No one can actually say I have the concrete answer that everyone is going to streamline and agree to. No one can say that. Not even me. But you guys, my followers here on Chicano Street, once you hear my story, once you know where I'm coming from, once you know my experience, I haven't had one pinche comment ever telling me you're not Chicano because they know they'd be lying through their motherfucking teeth. So let me say it again. All of my friends were in the same situation, minus maybe 1 out of 10 that was second, third, or fourth generation. All of our parents. So, in order to be Chicano, identify as that, you had to have Mexican descendancy. Now, I know I'm saying Mexican. I know where some of the comments are going to come right now, right? Some of the comments are going to be like, but Mexico is a nationality. Well, it's more than a nationality. I mean, let's keep it a buck for those that just throw that shit out there and think that's the end all of the argument. Mexico is just a nationality. Well, it's more than that. Okay. It's a country also. Okay, come on. Sovereign country made up of states, and it is a people. Now, of course, we can get technical. So they have to be Mexican. What is Mexican? Okay, we are mixed blood inside of us. All of us from the country of Mexico have mixed blood. So you had to have so everyone is mixed. Let's just keep that a buck. And I do agree with people that say, well, that's just what is it called? Division. It's a term to create division. Well, that's been going on since the beginning of time, gente. You can argue that these things are positive and helpful, or you can argue that they're negative and divisive until you're blue in the face, and that won't change shit. So, here on Chicano Street, we're going to push identity over and strengthen the Chicano culture. Okay. I know some people had commented and said, well, the Mikey, the guy you had last time, he was taking jabs. And no. No, he wasn't. And I didn't even take it as a jab. And I'm talking about mi hermano Kiawi. Shout out to him. He gave a great perspective, which is his perspective, and it's his experience. You know, as far as that term, ni de aquí, ni de allá, I'm not attached to no term. I'm attached to mis raíces mexicanas. I'm attached to what my parents were proud of and their parents and that upbringing. But here we are. So, again, an American, you have to be born here. You have to be born in the United States. Again, here we go. I can see people, but what about this? But what about that? No. Here it is. We're not confused. This is Chicano tube. Okay. There's a reason this is not Russian tube. Okay. There's a reason this is not Gavacho tube, native tube, black tube, whatever you want to call it. There's a reason. So if you need to go anywhere to find out, you're gonna go to the right. You came to the right place. Okay. So again, because it's been resurging, because it's crossed my feed, and people are questioning things. That's great. I'm glad at least people are seeking out knowledge. Seek knowledge. Okay. Like they say, hit the gym, don't hit the pipa. I'm glad you're hitting the books and you're not hitting the pipa. Okay. Born in the United States, blood descendancy from the country of Mexico. That means in any state. So again, if you want to get mad because it's the country of Mexico, it's a title. Well, fuck, you got to call the country something. Okay, whatever you want to call it, you want to fucking call it a sopa, you want to call it a whatever you want to call it. It's the country of Mexico, and in all of the states. Okay, your parents, both of them came from there. If you got mixed down the line, then it fucking gets taken away from you. I'm sorry to say it. I mean, well, I'm not sorry to say it. It's just the reality. You heard mi hermano Kiawi say the same thing, and he described Miklo's situation like to the fucking letter. Miklo had more gavacho in him that the raza was always unaccepting of it. And he had to go above and beyond. So shout out to the gavachos. We always sprinkle in the gavachos every once in a while because they're around. And I'm not saying they're not down. And here's one thing I also want to clarify. because again, it seems like more people are talking about it now. I made a video. It was this year. I can't remember the month. It was a short, I think, off of a live that I did, and I wanted to once and for all just wipe this, just make it crystal clear. It can be more clear. I'm talking about 21/20 vision, if it's even possible. 30/20 vision, if that's even possible. Okay, which is this: cholo culture, and it went viral a little bit on TikTok. It got like, 20, 30,000 views and shares and all that shit. Cholo culture is not Chicano culture. So for those that say, "Oh, it's a brim hat, it's the size 58 Frisco Benz, a hush puppies," and I, no, that's cholo culture. That's hood shit. That's blast it on the wall, cross them out and put a K, strive, push, push, strive, can't stop, won't stop, going all the way. That's all that shit. That's all that shit. That reminds me, someone sent me a video. It was the banda world, 2004 to 2006, what I was doing. Well, you know what I was doing in those years? I was pushing a hard line upstate. That's what I was doing in those years. Because again, I was in that mentality. So again, I have that experience. You're not talking to a cabron that doesn't have this experience, cabrones. You just want those kind of stories, they stay in the members only. They stay in the members only. But anyways, Chicano culture is not cholo culture. It's not. So what is Chicano culture if you take it away from the whole gang aspect? Huh? Do I have to tell you? Because you could do the research, you could find the videos, you could see the documentary, you could take a class in college. I'm sure they teach Chicano studies. I think there's Chicano study professors. I think one of them actually went on Cholo Trucker's channel one time. You could research it, that it's a movement of people that just wanted equality during other civil rights movements. When the Chicano movement was kicking off and kick-started and fucking just lit a fire and said, you know what, we're not having it no more. At the same time, MLK wasn't having it anymore. Very simple. All of us could research the raíces to it. So the confusion that, oh, this or that, and even in Mexico, I know people get this confused. I mean, not confused, but they mention this, and it's very true. There's Russian Mexicans, of course there are. They have 100% Russian blood, but they're born in Mexico. There's Chinese Mexicans, of course they are. You know, like where the wifey's familia's from. Okay, they're from Mexicali. They were bringing them, I don't know why or when, but on a boat from China and docking, porting in Mexicali. And you have a huge colony of Chinese in Mexicali. And so when they're born, what nationality is on their birth certificate? They're Mexican. So just to boil it a little bit more down, because it seems like the people want more technical. They want more technicality. They want more definition of it because they're confused. I don't know why. I'm not confused. I'm living this shit. You can't tell me. That's why I told you guys in this year and since June to now, how many months it is. Now, one cabron can tell me you ain't Chicano. I ain't like fucking that one guy. What's his name? Iron Jacket. Iron Jacket, which I forgot who there was a video that came across my feed. I saw the thumbnail, but I was like, shit, I should have clicked on it, but I didn't click on it. I should have saw it. It said Marvelous Minds Thoughts on Iron Jacket. So this is no Iron Jacket kind of shit where we're faking the funk. This ain't no Iron Jacket. This is true, 100% uncut. If they come through Chicano Street and they say they're Chicano, we'll give them the check mark. If we don't give them a check mark, it was for a reason. Just know that. All right, man. Finding some shade, cabrones. It's hot. Let's read some comments. Hey, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. I appreciate you, cabron. That's right. I think Chicano has more of a political background to it. It does, but it's how do I say it? Um, amiga, it's an identity. That's all it is. It's an identity. So soy Chicano, but here's the thing. It's not that you're in a box now. I don't believe, and you guys could disagree with me on this all you want. It's not going to change my opinion, or I'll hear it out. I'm not going to say I won't hear it out. I believe you could be more than that. I'm Chicano, absolutely. But if you boil it down to the blood that's pumping through my veins, it's Mexican blood. And you know what I mean. Don't get, I don't want to hear that shit. It's just a flag. It's just, you know what I mean, cabrones, okay? It's indigenous and Spanish blood. And I'm sure maybe there's other percents in there. Maybe there's fucking 1% Polish or 1% Africano, whatever, right? That's what I mean. So in that, I'm not confused. So it's an identity, amiga, but I wouldn't base the whole thing on politics. Why did they get involved in politics? Is because that was the only way to get equality. You could scream all you want, but if you're not screaming at your local representative politician, shit won't get done. What if they just went up and down the barrios and said, "Hey, we need to change, we need to change." Well, okay, we got to put a plan of action into it. Well, who's the one that's making these laws? Who can make a law that will help us out and not marginalize us? Now, it's true when they say, "Oh, the minorities." Gente, we got to get rid of that term because we are not the minority in this country, for one, or two, in Califas. We are not. We are the majority. The majority. And again, everyone just needs to wear it on their chest and be proud of whatever country, wherever you're from. But Chicano, Chicanismo, the Chicano identity does have criteria to it. And you know what? I'm not gonna be mad at you if you say I'm Chicano. Yeah, you're a unicorn if you want to be a unicorn. You're whatever you want to be. You be you. I'm not. I'm gonna be the last cabron that's gonna tell you, you can't be who you want to be. But that's not why people come to Chicano too. That's not why people come here, or that's not why people would say, you know what, Mikey, you're right. Keep it pushing, keep the message going, etc. Gasman says, I hate being called a minor. Oh, I'm with you, cabron. I'm with you, cabron. We're the last cabrones. No, we're not a pinchy minority at all. Shit. I'll get it for you. It's in my car. Yeah, no worries, no worries. All to the good. Let me go to the Rampla. Someone just asked me for a lighter. It's all good. Always have, hate that word. Yeah. So again, these are terms that are created. Again, can Chicano be a divisive term? Absolutely, it could be a divisive. Well, why don't we just be all brown people and all that? Well, that's just the way it isn't. It doesn't mean we can't unite. Now, if I had to work with people across the fucking whatever, the aisle or whatever to get something done for the raza, absolutely. I'm not gonna be splitting hairs on it, but we're not gonna have cabrones coming on and trying to redefine who we are. That's not gonna happen. And so with that, what Cholo Juan said, chalucas. Victim mentality is such a bad look. Absolutely, amiga. Yeah, because what it's gonna do is gonna cause you from not getting ahead. Not getting ahead. I just posted a nice little TikTok. I think it was a TikTok came across my feed. This guy is showing the flipping, the key to flipping. No problemo. No problem. I'm gonna be right over here. Yeah, it's all to the good. It's all to the good. Risky business. So why not say Mexican? Well, okay, I didn't finish my thought probably, huh? Why not say Mexican? Because I am Mexican. I could say Mexican all day long, all day long. So why not say Mexican? Because cabron, Chicano is one of the few cultures that embraces two countries and not one. I could say Mexican también, and I could say American. That's why I'm saying this is like the pinche holy trinity. We got it good. Matter of fact, some people call Chicanos la raza de oro. We have that distinct um um to be able to embrace two different cultures. I'm not going to shit on this country that my parents almost died getting to with all the opportunities, and then it's even more disgraceful when I don't take advantage of the opportunities. Then I just fucking jump on the system, milk out welfare, milk out this and milk out that. That's not why my parents wanted me to come here. Somos gente chambeadora. I think we're the most raza más chambeadora on the pinche planet, bro. But that's just my opinion. So again, the reason I'm saying this again, now we finally got a video. We finally got a video out there that if anyone searches my canal and say, what is a Chicano? Because they heard this guy say, it's people from here, it's people from there, it's people from Chicago, or wherever, right? That's cool. That's cool. But if the reason they don't identify as that could be because they don't have the full experience. And if they don't have the full experience, what kind of qualifications do they have to even speak on it? Everyone could just give their opinion on the internet. That's great. Shit. Till you're blue in the face. Give your opinion. Okay. But when they come to Chicano Tube, we set it straight. If the path is crooked, te vamos a emparejar. We're gonna set the shit straight. Right? Anyways. That's right. Órale, Edward Hurtado. That's right. The Chicanos are brown, elegant, and intelligent. Now, absolutely, cabron. Again, when I said this a couple months ago, I didn't want people to get pissed, upset. It went a little bit viral on TikTok. But Chicano culture and the Cholo culture just don't intertwine those things. Don't intertwine those things. When you see them gang banging in the hood and all that, they could be Chicano. They could be third, fourth generation, maybe, or maybe they're first still. I mean, there's not a lot of first now since less than 10% of the actual people that are crossing the border are Mexican, less than 10%. Um, there's less and less Chicanos being first generation now. They could be, but that's gang shit. That's the hood shit. You know, the how those two even got intertwined, I will tell you right now, and this is really members only shit. I'm not gonna get into detail, but this is really members only shit. Is that they indoctrinate you based on your heritage to believe you're killing, stealing, and destroying is something beneficial and positive. And no, it's not. No, it's not. So that's where I realized, wait a second, you're teaching me about cultura and this and that, and then you want me to do a removal. And it's another brown brother. So it's not the same. So anyone that sees a cholo and gets confused about it, well, I mean, I'm not. I'm not. Darlene Aragon, I appreciate you, amiga. That's right. Interview Chicano Style Biker Club from San Jose. Yeah, so I've gotten in contact with the Brown Berets. Brown Berets is one. Who else? Who else? This other one, Indigenous Nightmares of the America. Interesting. IG channel. Look forward to that conversation. And I'm also looking for a Chicano professor. I'm looking for a Chicano professor. I would love to maybe give the whole curriculum. Like, what are they teaching them? When they sit down in those pinchy classes, is it off from my experience? Because I'm only speaking from my experience. I didn't study that. The only thing I've ever studied is business. I went to accounting school, got accounting degree. Seminary. I studied the Bible. I did that for about 3 years. And real estate. So those are the only things I got licenses, degrees, or diplomas for. Chicano was just my upbringing. And I haven't had one cabron say you're wrong, Mikey. So that just proves it. And not just what I say, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm looking to get a Chicano professor, other people, because we're not just gonna stay, we're not gonna just stay on one, getting one opinion or from one group, etc. We're gonna spread this shit out. Let's see if we can get a Chicano professor. Let's see if we can get a Mexican professor and see what their thoughts are on the whole colonialism and how it came about, etc. But a Chicano professor would definitely be interesting. So anyone that could put me in touch with a Chicano professor, um, hit me on my DM on IG. It's Chicano Tube, all together, one word, Chicano Tube, or hit me at 831-204-6977. The trip is that outside the Southwest, people claim Mexican, not Chicano. Yeah, and it could be. So this is what I did, cabrón. You see what I did? It could be that term just got dwindled less and less and less and less and less. But here I came on the scene last June. We got 12K. Shout out to you. We're almost at 12.5. Shout out to you guys. I came on the scene, and if at least I did anything, I resurged it. That way we can get a pride and identity and strengthen that, because these youngsters right now, need more pride inside of them. I heard Chito Rana say something that I totally disagreed with. But again, I'm not taking away that he's Chicano, that he's not Chicano. Absolutely not. But he said when he was at the dad's pad, the dad would yell at him for smoking and all this other shit, right? But when he's in his huge ass mansion, his family comes over, which is his mom and his dad. And he says right in front of his dad, he'll light up a Philly. Right in front of his dad, he'll light up a Swisher and blow that shit. And he said that his dad told him, te falta respeto. And that part hit me because I understand where the dad is coming from as a proud Mexican man, you know. So that having not respect for your dad is something I wasn't taught. I wouldn't blow a cloud in my dad's face, but to each his own. To each his own. That's right. Short the West Side San Jose in the casa. I appreciate you, cabron. Just know your worth and be a person of morals. Absolutely, exactly. I'm just glad I got to put my two cents in it and research this thing, and people are proud. Last night, I apologize, you guys. I was gonna do the Sunday night show, but I was at a bridal fair. I was speaking with like over 100 brides, gente. Imagine one at a time they're coming up to me, and I love doing that work because every time I go to work, it's a party. But I went over on the time, and I couldn't do it, and I actually pulled out a Chicano flag. That's the one I was gonna start blasting last night. I just laid it over on the DJ booth, and I'll pick that bandera up next time. But I'm very proud of Mexican American. Now, some people kept saying, they comment in the comment section, American Mexican. Okay, you say that. That's fine. You say that. I'm not gonna say America before Mexico. I'm gonna say Mexican, then I'm going to say American. Why? Because the blood that's pumping through my vein is Mexican blood. Again, I know what you're going to say, the flag, it's a nationality, but I'm going to keep saying that until you guys agarren la onda. You know, when I say Mexican blood, that we're mixed. I shouldn't have to keep repeating myself. And then the comments will come in that that's just a flag. That's just a blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean. Baby Love Substance says, I can connect you with Carlos Montes, OG Brown Beret. Okay. So I sent the Brown Beret page. I have a huge following on IG. I sent it to them. They got back to me and they said, how many of us would you like to have on the platform? And I'll put it in our Brown Beret group chat. And this was last Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm still waiting for them to come back and get to me. But if you could, and he is a representative, that means actively involved, I would love to have a conversation like that. I think this is just where the channel's going. You know what I mean? Culture, cultura. We're gonna talk about it all. Of course, we sprinkle a little bit of cheese, man, politics. I Before cheese, man, politics. To be honest, I'd rather talk about trending news and what the hell is happening, right? Like with Diddy, we talked about Diddy for a little bit, and everyone's scared now Diddy's gonna rat on him and shit like that. But I believe they're gonna cover up Diddy just the way they covered up Epstein. So, But now that if you look at his face, he does look like a fucking POS, huh? He looks like the kind of guy that would abuse people, controlling. We saw him in that video beating up a woman on camera. I mean, it was horrible. It was horrible. I don't want to hear this shit. It's funny because when people get caught, they're only sorry because they're caught. The cabron wouldn't be sorry if he fucking wouldn't have got caught. But when he got caught kicking field goals on this innocent young woman, which is horrible, horrible situation, all this breaking it down shit, the people don't want to hear that. Because again, money don't make you; it just pulls the monster out of you if you're a monster. Anyways. I would love that, baby love substance. I appreciate you, amiga. Again, let's go ahead and it's not gonna be a long video, gente. I'm right here visiting moms, you guys. But because there's been a lot of videos coming across my feed, and it seems like I was part of igniting the fire and putting Chicanismo up at the forefront again when maybe it had dwindled. Like risky business say, maybe more people will say Mexicano. And actually, there'd be a lot of people if you ask them, and they have Mexican blood in them, and they're in the United States. If you ask them, most people wouldn't even know what to answer. They wouldn't even know what to answer. And sad to say, a lot of Chicanos don't even know the history of the Chicano movement and how it birthed and what it was. Like that saying, this is like I don't know if you guys consider this the first Chicanos. I haven't. This came across my feed one time, and I was like, "Oh, very interesting." I saw a video. It said when the Treaty of Hidalgo got into place, boom! All of a sudden, Mexico lost 30% of its land. Boom, and they redrew the line. Guess what? There was Mexicans that were already in that part that were born over there, but it was they were born over there where it was Mexico. All of a sudden, one day to the next, I was born in this place that was called Mexico, like Texas, Utah, New Mexico. I was born here when it was Mexico. The next morning, they wake up and they're in America because of the Treaty of Hidalgo. So again, that's when they say this saying that we didn't cross the border crossed us. Now, I believe that's true for that group of people because they're like, shit, we're born here after, but one day to the next, right? This treaty happened. We're born here when it was Mexico. Now they redrew the line. The next morning they wake up and they're in America. Hence, boom, perfect example of a Chicano. Anyways, the Big Joe show's in the casa. I appreciate you. The Big Joe show. Gracias, carnal. I appreciate you for tapping in. There's a prime example of a Chicano that's doing great. Chicano in Hollywood, involved all the way. Ain't on the fence like some of these people trying to act tough or do this or do that. Knows who he is. Great success story. My brother, Big Joe Castro. I appreciate you, cabron. Gracias for tapping in, man. Artie Marin says, "Make America." Oh man, that's a good one, cabron. Make it Chicano again. Hey, if I did that, cabron, it was at least it was a positive impact I had. For the cabrones that went after me and yeah, I'm this and I'm that and I believe and I this and I ask them 3, 4, 5 questions and I get down to the nitty gritty and they disagree and they want to make an enemy out of me. Well, that's on you. You know what I mean? Guerras on YouTube is nothing new to me. I've already been in a few guerras on YouTube. I'll survive. Internet guerras. That's funny. I found out there's a bunch of Mexicans in the Bronx and Baltimore. Yeah, you saw the video that was circulating. I think it was last week. It went viral. It was the whole downtown New York. I don't know what the plaza's called or whatever, packed with nothing but Mexican flags. Bro, that's why I'm saying we are not the minority. They're lying to us. Minority. We need to get away from saying that word. We're the majority. And I'm talking about Mexicanos because I can only speak for my people. I can only speak for my people. I can't speak for other people. The way it looks in California, we got to be like 40% of the state. We got to be. We are not 10% of the state. Don't lie. We're not 20%. No, we're not. That's too low. We got to be like 40% of this whole state. Maybe even 50 now. Mac Ryan's in the casa. I appreciate you. Angel Cakes in the casa. Sacramento. Califas is in the house with the cross, the Bible. Absolutely. This is what I was telling me, hermano Kiawi. I know he's talking about European religions, but absolutely, soy cristiano. You know, oh, how I love the name Jesus. It is the sweetest name I know. Damn. Kirk Franklin just came out. No, it's because when you have an encounter with God, can no one talk you out of that? Am I right or am I wrong? Right? You've seen a miracle, right? It's like only God could have did that, right? Scientists like to break it down to a science. Well, the reason he was able to lift that 350 F-350 truck off that little girl was the adrenaline was pumping so hard and that's fine. That's the scientific shit about it. I say no, it was God that helped the dad with his daughter was pinned off of a 1-ton truck, lift the pinchy truck. It wasn't his adrenaline and all the scientific shit. It was God. But again, that's just me. That's just me. That's right, Mac Ryan. I appreciate ACB chemistry with the flask and beakers blowing shit up. That's right, Cabron. I appreciate you for tuning in on this fix right here. So at least now me too, Christian. That's right. Shout. Okay, the Chicano came out of her. The Chicano. You know, so again, we have our own language too. It's a beautiful thing, that not only Chicanos speak this. There's other groups that have these words, but órale, trucha, chale, Simón, que hubo, carnal, ruca. That's a funny one, ruca. Uh, Jaina. All of these words, right? Chicanos made these words. Now, some people will say, yeah, but most of them were cholos. Well, okay. Well, I told you already. Separate the two. But yeah, they grew up in the neighborhood. There were Chicanos. Yeah, they just decided to gangbang, and that was it. And the rest of the Chicanos, well, there was a group of Chicanos. Not all of them are gangbangers. There's a group of Chicanos that are just like me, and look where we're at right now. Now, did I gangbang? Absolutely, I did. 20 something years. I almost hit every fucking level of it. I just decided I'm tired of it already. I got to do something different. I didn't have to do anything else. There was nothing else to prove. I mean, of course, there was higher levels, but that's if I would have made a commitment. You know what? I want to do this for life, and I didn't anymore. I didn't want to do it no more. I was like, what's done has been done. But anyways, members only. David Gastelum's in the casa. He says, "Amen." Yeah. So again, when they say religions and Christianity, this and it comes from the Güeros and all that, when you've had a personal encounter with God, it don't matter. There's a God, there's a Creator, capital G, not little G. There's a lot of little G's, but how about my capital G, God? He's the creator of everything. And at the end of the day, we are going to have to all stand in front of him. Some people don't believe that, right? Maybe some people say the Apostle Paul that wrote half the Gospels or the New Testament is lying. To each his own. If that's what you believe, you think a man just dedicated his life of experiences and just wrote nothing but lies for people to believe lies, then you do you. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Amen to my brother God first. That's right, God. Risky business. Oh man, the Grim Reaper, cabrón. No disrespect, cabrón. No disrespect. Santa Muerte. So Santa Muerte, I don't know too much about it. I did have a guest. You guys seen him last week, and he said that that's an offspring. It's a spin-off of an Aztec teaching, deity, creencia, philosophy. I forgot what he said. No, he said two names and I won't even try to pronounce them. So I think it's a spin-off. That's what he's saying. So don't get mad, cabron. But he was saying, when you go through, just kind of like in the Catholic Church when they ma, 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 and they repeat the same thing 20 times. He was saying that, and again, I'm not laughing at you, cabron. He was saying that it's false because the practice is not what the way the original Santa Muerte was something, something, something. Look up some research on it, cabron. Jump on Chicano Street. Let me know, and we'll talk about Santa Muerte if you want to talk about Santa Muerte. I got to do some research because I don't know, cabron. Okay. All I know is that it looks like a Grim Reaper statue, cabron. And of course, people would be eerie of it, Another thing people say is the law of attraction, the Santa Muerte, Santa Muerte. Well, then don't get mad when Santa Muertes are happening. You know. Thanks, Mikey. I appreciate you, cabron. By the grace of God, by the grace of God, right? It, you know, again, for to believe the Bible is just tales of people that just decided to conspire and write something to mislead people. It's pretty far fetched. That's pretty far fetched. That's reaching a lot. I mean, a lot. All done, amiga. No problemo. All right. Shout out you guys. Orale, my hind. It's another Chicano word. So again, cabron, we're Mexican. At the end of the day, we're Mexican, and you know what I mean. I don't want to have to keep saying that again and again and again about it's a flag, it's a nationality. We're Mexican. We know where we come from. I'm not one of these cabrones that's gonna stay talk down on the motherland. Absolutely not. That's Mexico. There are some cabrones that say this, say that, but that's not me. Absolutely not. We're Mexican. At the end of the day, why? Because it's true. Sometimes how we identify don't mean shit. It's how other people see us. You're brown, fuck it, you're brown. I get it. I get it. But they don't know us. They're not in our group, they're not in our culture. They don't come from our background. So really their opinions are irrelevant. But anyways, we have a beautiful language. We got the best food in the world, cabron. I never met one cabron on planet Earth that said they hate Mexican food. Not one. subscribed. I appreciate you, amiga. Jesus Christ is definitely the way. Now, I don't want to offend anyone. It definitely it is to me, amiga. It is to me. He healed my oldest son from autism. He healed my oldest. I would wake up when this is when I'm fresh out of seminary. I used to pray like a four to like 6 o'clock every single day religiously for like 3, 4, 5, 6 years. My wife is a witness to that. When my son got diagnosed with autism, and they told me that that he's just gonna take the little yellow bus, and they're gonna send us a check, and he's gonna have a care provider. I told that doctor respectfully, I appreciate your opinion, but what you just said is what's going to happen to my son is not going to happen. And I know that doctor looked at me like I was negligent. I'm pretty sure he looked at me like, ¿Quién se cree este way? But it's because I know my God. And next thing you know, within about a year and a half or two, well, this had to do with two steps. One was faith, and two, we went on a hardcore probiotic diet and got everything out of his diet: soy, preservatives, artificials, GMO, gluten free. And we're buying food at the expensive food. You're buying like $10 fucking little chingaderas, that would cost $2, $3 because it's full of artificial flavors, sugars, preserve the shit that our body keeps rejecting and flushing out. And then we wonder when we get sick with cancer or something that why our body can't fight it. Your body can't fucking fight it because you keep putting big gulps, fucking 60-ounce big gulps. I was about to say 64-ounce Mickeys, but not 64-ounce Mickey. Well, even that too. A lot of people don't even know. And I drink, I'm guilty. One beer takes your body 3 days, your liver, to process one 12-ounce beer out. And imagine the campesinos that drink from Friday to Sunday, cases and cases and cases, and only give their body 3, 4 days to recover. They're pretty much headed to an early grave, and they're going to lose at least 10 to 15 years off their life, which is sad. And then they bury him, and it's sad. And at least I caught it, in my 40s, to be conscious of my health. Well, I started at 30 when I started boxing. Anyways, pura raza, we're all the same raza. That's right, cabrón. I was going to say, they ain't even Mexican. I said, no, they ain't. Not everyone, but again, cabrón. Don't say that. I'm not trying to say we're superior. This is not fucking some kind of Mexican supremacy, because I'm sure that's real too. In the country of Mexico, cabron, they are as racist as any other country. You want to make Mexico seem less racist than the US? I'll argue with you. I'll argue with you because there's these terms that they use amongst themselves. I go to Mexico like twice a year. They call them, ese vato es de rancho. Ese vato es corriente. Esa es la India. Even that. They'll even fucking say la India. That's crazy. And they're Indios. And they have Indian blood inside of them. It's just the Spanish European blood is more dominant. And then you wonder why they put the actresses on the pinchy soap operas, the most famous superstar actresses. They're mostly all light complected. They choose that. So there's still that kind of systemic hierarchy in Mexico. De rancho, de a tiro. Yeah, I am the rancho y qué? That's what I would say. I spent the first at least 13 summers of my life in Mexico. Some of the best memories I ever had, man. Some of the best, man. Some of the best food I ever tasted, too. Orale, baby love. I appreciate you. That's right. Door security's in the casa. I appreciate you, cabrón. We're going to wrap it up in a couple minutes. After these elections, our people are going to be targeted like no other time in history. Well, we can be ready for that by preparing. Again, gente, I gave the definition of Chicano because it came across my feed. People are asking it. That's great. That's fine. All I'm really saying is be proud of who you are and wear it on your chest and be proud of it and teach that to your kids so they don't get their identity from the internet and then get lost. And then you wonder why they fucking dressed like in black trench coats and weird shit, right? Um, but I in no way, shape, or form am trying to preach separatism. That means when the Mexicanos unite, and that's everyone. That's including Mexicano is a big umbrella. When the Mexicanos can unite for the greater good, which I believe it's possible, we just gotta have a seat at the table. Ain't no one gonna come after us, bro. What they're coming after us for is our vote every 4 years away, and we give it away. We sell that shit, and it's not us, it's the fucking leaders. It's the leaders. Like I was telling you guys about the United Farm Workers. Go to the United Farm Workers IG pages. I'm not knocking their accomplishments. I'm not knocking on what they paved the way for the raza. I'm not knocking their I'm not knocking none of it. This is what I am knocking. Go to their IG page and see what they're doing. All they're doing is getting behind every single post on their IG is a Democratic nominee. Do you think that's a coincidence? Do you think, honestly, in your heart of hearts, that that's a coincidence? No, it's because our leaders will sell us out. So it's for the people to have the discernment of who they want to get behind. I speak for Chicanos, yes, but I'm willing to sit at the table with any group that wants the betterment of their community, just like I want the betterment of my community. Period. The absolute best. Oh, you're talking about the Mexican food? It's good. I mean, my wife can cook, amiga. She's a cook and she's picky. She's picky. We just had Birria Taco San Jose Flea Market. That's for cabron. Damn, we just went to a flea market on the Independence Day weekend. We're in San Jose, went to the flea market. I was going to say, damn, I miss you, cabron. And it's hot right now. Selena Rivera says, I'm eating a sopa, right? That's right. That's right. I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Baby Love Substance just dropped a YouTube channel. That's right. Praise God. That's what it's going to be. You guys, if you didn't know, I run the live stream for my church también. So you see me sometimes putting a clip up there. I run the live stream from 10 to 12. I think it's celebrationchurch.org. And that's just my little grain of sand. What about the prayers he doesn't answer? Okay. So, the Bible says that all the prayers get lifted to the altar of God as sweet incense, right? So it keeps going up and it keeps going up. Here's the thing. How can you question God about anything? Who are you? Who am I? I know some people are, well, child of God. Well, he loves me, made in the image. All these things. Abraham called him a friend. I'm a friend of God. That's crazy that God would even meet you face to face. But Abraham didn't see him. He said Moses didn't see him. He only saw his back parts. That's all you could ever see is the tail of God, like the cloak, the edge, because none of us are worthy. So the prayers he doesn't answer is nothing to hold against anybody. Is nothing because I believe in the timing. There's a time for everything. Solomon said in Ecclesiastes, time for this, that, and he named about 100 instances where covers most of it. A time to get mad, time to get angry, a time to love, a time to joy, so I don't question it, bro. If it didn't happen, I'm not trying to pressure anything to happen or rush anything to happen. I don't. It's gonna be at the perfect timing. Like when I launched Chicano Tube, that was the perfect timing. And when we start hitting major platforms, when all of a sudden, I start getting a podcast buzz, and I go to somewhere, right? And say they want the grimy shit, right? They don't have to fucking tell level 4 stories or all that shit. Okay, but it'll be at the right time, and I didn't release it or let the whole shit go because I understand timing is everything. It's not the right time. But when it's the right time and we start doing podcast tours, the business is ready to go. The merch store is ready to go. Content creator series of fighting will already have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights in the books. And we're going to be ready to go. And then when our platform gets bigger, our message gets louder. Faith first on God's time. I appreciate you, amigo. Absolutely. Best food. We all have that one prima that's hamburguesa at the taqueria. I know. I remember being a chavalito. I was in Mazatlan. I remember I was in Mazatlan, Sinaloa, just one time out of all those years I went. And they were making tacos, and I asked them for a hamburger. It looked super basic. The guy literally grabbed carne molida. He smashed it down. He put 2 buns and a lettuce, and I was like, damn, all he did was give me a mayonnaise burger. And then I remember another time asking for pizza, and they gave me pizza with ham on top, and I was like, dang. Soy pocho, way. All for God's glory. He uses us. Faith, repent of all sins, is trust. At the end of the day, the Apostle Paul never said the most truest thing than this. We will all have to. One day, every tongue will confess, every knee will bow, and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. Again, personal convictions, ain't pushing this on nobody, but that's everybody. And I don't think the Lord is going to hold anyone against anyone if they didn't hear the message. Rejecting it is one thing, but you didn't hear it. Okay, that's a whole different thing. But to each his own. Maybe you think, like los musulmanos that, maybe God has 100 virgins for you because, you prayed every day an hour before you woke up and now you have 100 virgins and how you lived your life didn't mean shit. It's a whole different thing. And I'm not saying that's all what they believe. I'm saying these are just things that I've heard and I'm very ignorant to what they believe, just to keep it a buck. Perhaps the name, pero the essence of the worship for a deity in charge of the energy after human death is a practice that's been around in many early civilizations around the world. Okay, okay. So, yeah. So it's a spin-off of that, right? Like, post-mortem, kind of like a morbid kind of, religion where it's like the muerte. Maybe they'll even say something like, it's just the beginning of your journey, or something like that. But again, it all revolves around death. I can see it. Obviously, it's prevalent, and Mexicans aren't the only ones that have it. I'm sure. I'm gonna try to pronounce your name just because I love, to challenge myself. Nimitz, Nimitzlazotla, Nimitzlazotla. I tried, my brother. I tried, or my sister. I'm sorry. Mexican imperialism. That don't help. That means the rich get richer, the poor get poor. Now you got the new AOC. Now you have a Jewish president that just stepped in to take charge of Mexico. I don't know how that's going to go. The country obviously voted her, either they voted her in or they rigged it like the last election and got her in that way. I don't know how they got her in, but you got a shine bomb that is a Jewish descent, and then she's the leader of Mexico. To me, she might be the new AOC. I don't know. Mac Ryan's just smirking, palm tree smirking. It's hot, cabrón. I'm sitting in the shade right now, though. I'm sitting in the shade. Oh, I'm doing a 72-hour fast. So I started yesterday. I'm not gonna eat until right before we go live on Wednesday, and I'm trying to bring a special guest for you guys to keep the conversation going. I don't know who it's gonna be. Maybe it could be a Chicano professor I've been talking to. It could be Brown Berets. Maybe it's someone a returning guest. We'll see, but you'll see the thumbnail. Hell yeah, colorism is real shit in Mexico. Absolutely, absolutely. The people don't believe it. I don't know why the people don't believe it. It absolutely is, and I'm like, that doesn't change my view. I said this before. I go to Mexico and I'm in the markets all the time, right? Excuse me. I'm sorry, in Spanish. Perdóname, perdón. They're bumping into me. They're looking at me funny and all that. Just the way they act toward me doesn't change my view, because my view comes from my parents and grandparents that I love Mexico. And so say, well, they don't look at you like that. I don't give a fuck how they look at me. I love Mexico. ¿Y qué? 50% native blood. Oh, that's a lot, amiga. Did you do your DNA? 17% Spanish. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I guess there's accuracy in those DNA tests. At first I question a lot of things. I just, the way things fall on my lap, I just don't take things at face value. But I used to question to think there was just a money scam that would come out with some percentages. And of course that has to equal 100. But I've seen people say that it's accurate. Mac Ryan's peeping out the window, cabron. Hey, that's how Mexicans do, cabron. They peek out the window like that, Mac Ryan, just to see the cheese mills going on when they're arresting the neighbor. The neighbor's getting put in handcuffs and shit like that, and crack the blinds, and you're just looking, cabron. Or there's another funny meme that says the Mexicano or Mexicana. All of a sudden, the cops land across the street. All of a sudden, she starts sweeping in the front. Oh man, it's funny, you guys. Man. Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. Hopefully, we clarified everything. Our Red Dog says Alvin. Yeah, Alvin is not Chicano, but again, I'm just telling Alvin, hey, you got to do shit that I say. Well, first of all, you're a clickbaiter now, because now you're just lying to the people so they can watch your lives. That's another level. That's a lower level, not a higher. That's another lower level. But as far as him, I've always told him, me and him got personal, just whatever. He doesn't like me for whatever, right? He doesn't like me because I did a ring announcing for a fight, and it was the runner was in the fight, and I didn't know that the runner was one of the biggest pieces of shit. I didn't know. How am I supposed to get a fucking ring announcing gig and do a background check on everyone? Hey, I need everyone's paperwork. That's what he sounds he does. He sounds very high power. He won't even go to a place unless he gets everyone's paperwork. That's how Alvin makes it seem, but it's very confusing because the people want to take him for a politician, but then he gets fired. Take him to be a humanitarian helping the community, but then he's posting pictures gang banging. Well, back in the day when da da da, at least I can go back to my hood and it feels good this and feels good that. And the sad thing about it is he doesn't even know that he's almost 50 years old. And whatever he tried to accomplish, he didn't accomplish. And he's seeking validation every time he posts something like that. That's another topic. That's right, Mr. Goyle. Another Salinero is just stepped in the building. What's up, Mikey? Stopping by to show my love and support. Say hello to everybody in the chat. How about them Niners, though? Yay, yay. How about your hijo, cabron? How's your boy? How did that go? Did you get wild that night, cabron? As soon as he came back after a year or two, straight to the Modelos. Was it a good night? Yeah, just como está el hijo, cabrón. Blessings to you, blessings to the familia. Goyo's been a day oneer, you guys. He's a salinero. He's from Salinas. He knows the soil right where I'm standing at right now. I appreciate you, Mac Ryan. Yeah, that's why I don't. That's why I say runner and I don't say with the G because the G's not in him. That's cheese, man. You guys, that's cheese, man. Let's stick on the subject, you guys, because anyone that's watching it on the replay again, you guys, a Chicano is an Americano born here of Mexican descent. That means 100% blood over there. If it's second, third, fourth generation, as long as the parents kept marrying Chicanos and their lineages are similar, all of it traced back to the country of Mexico. And I mean all of it, both sides have to trace back. Then this Chicanos having kids, and then the Chicanos keep on going. It's not the cholo. It's not anyone. It's not the cholo culture. It's not gang banging. No, it's not. Is there Chicanos in gangs? Of course there is. But there's everyone in gangs. So yes, not one group can claim the whole thing, right? It's there's pretty much there's 4 or 5 things though. If you don't check these boxes, I'm sorry, and it just is what it is, man. Oh, okay. Would you mind texting that to me, amiga? Would you mind texting that to me? 831 204 6977. Would you mind texting that to me, please? 831 I didn't put it in the banner because I don't want anyone calling me on the live and then it'll cut off the audio. Remember, people, always to pray not only when you want something or something in need. Always pray and be real about it. He'll answer your prayers. That's real talk, faith, and believe. You've experienced it. I've experienced it, cabron. This is our experience, and I agree with you. I have 100%. Cool. Yeah, stay cool, cabron. Put the AC on. Lane vato going to Mexico. Yeah. Hey, what it was it's all good. Don't trip. Don't. No one knock them off or nothing like that. I have fucking thick skin. Um, I only went 13 years away because by the time I got 13, I walked that line. And when I walked that line, and that means the homie line, and you better fucking make it to the end of the line. Okay, there's 6 cabrones on each side. You better make it and stand and fight your way. After I did that, I didn't want to go back. And it wasn't that I was throwing wild animal house parties. No, now I can stay on the streets a week at a time. I can stay on the streets 2 weeks at a time, party, kegs, and all that. I ended up in the hospital with meningitis, viral meningitis one time. I think I was 14 or 15 because, again, the hard partying, the doctor told me this is the reason, the fucking hard partying. So, yeah, I would go over there, ask for hamburgers and pizzas because I was a pinche pocho, you know? And in the last trip that I went over there, I already started wearing khaki suits, bands, and stuff like that. And one of my uncles called me out on it. And I was like, you know what? I ain't even coming back. I ain't even coming back. And I regret it. But again, it was in my mind. All the youngsters think the same, right? They're all Superman. They can't be told anything. They're invincible. What they say is right. No one else is wrong. I went through that. So I was ordering hamburguesas and pizza. They just were giving me a fucking China version of them. Excuse me, I love y'all. Hoping dreams y'all come true. Mac Ryan, I appreciate you, cabron. AIS is Jewish too. Yeah. And I'm not knocking Jewish. Obviously, if you look at the Old Testament, that's God's people. And then when you look at the New Testament, now who's accepting Jesus is God's people. I'm not knocking them. There's actually even a scripture inside Second Corinthians and says the Jewish people, the people I never heard anyone quote this scripture. And again, I'm not well, I mean, I did go to seminary. Okay, I do have a degree, but I'm not claiming to be the pinchy Jeremiah, whatever his name is. Um, there's a scripture that says the Jews were blinded for our sake. They were blinded so the Gentiles could receive grace. They were blinded because if they weren't blinded and they would have accepted them, I don't know if the gospel would have ever been made, right? Because there's not that tragedy. There's always has to be that tragedy in an epic story, just like in a movie. That tragedy, it just makes the shit more epic, right? Oh, AOC is Jewish too. I'm not knowing, but it's funny how her and all of her homegirls, and you know what I mean, homegirls. That means all of the hard left girls that she hangs out with. They're all married to gavachos. So I seen a funny meme that said AOC gets colonized every night. Oh man, that's crazy. Lisa Marie Anderson, I appreciate you, amiga. I'm doing good, amiga. P. Hernandez just reached out to me, you guys. I'm also gonna let you know this. It just crossed my mind right now. I don't know why I forgot about this. Bobby Kennedy is coming to Monterey. P. Hernandez, he's been on the show 2 times already with me. I love that brother right there, man. He's so freaking solid, man. This is the kind of people we need to have on Capitol Hill. He reached out to me and he says, if Bobby Kennedy comes to Monterey, we're going to have a private event. And could you go live from the event? You're fucking right, I can. You excuse my language. I'm trying to watch my language more and more on YouTube. You're damn right. I told Pete Hernandez I will go live from Bobby Kennedy's private event. I might have to pay to get in there, but it is what it is. That'll be great. You know what I mean? Because of course, when it comes to America, America first, gente, when you hear Raza saying America first, well, hear him out. You know, unless it's a one-sided cabron that's just this, that, and he denies his heritage, he denies his culture, then yeah, don't hear that out. But if I tell you it's America first, just know this, I'm basing it, that's a political statement that has nothing to do with heritage. America first has nothing to do with culture. America first has nothing to do with menospreciando Mexico. That means downgrading. No, no, none of that. When I say America first, it's in the political realm that I'm telling people that. It's not, I'm putting America before Mexico because I'm Mexican American. And some people had commented American Mexican. I never heard of that. I never, you cabrones that commented American Mexican, you're the first cabrones I ever heard fucking say that shit. Rising Warriors in the casa. That's right, cabron. Mikey, no disrespect. Never, don't worry about that, cabron. Say what you got to say. And no one fucking gets blocked. I don't block anyone here. You know, my moderators block people. I don't block anybody. Why are you always talking about God and support Republicans? And then, of course, he used the 3Ks who spread hate and division. Doesn't the Bible teach us to love and be free? Absolutely. Now, I don't know if you knew this, cabron. I'm not trying to burst bubbles or not, this is not a debate or one up you, not at all. Because I appreciate your comments because people like you that comment give us the opposite view. And that's what I love. It sparks the conversation. But the Ku Klux Klan had its origins in the other party, cabron. And Martin Luther King knew this. There's a huge trailer right across the correctional facility at Soledad and Salinas Valley, but Salinas Valley's up the hill. There's a huge trailer that someone put on their property. It's industrial property, it has warehouses and forklifts and shit like that. A huge trailer that has a big banner that says Martin, right across the street from the Pinta in Soledad, right here. There's a huge trailer that says Martin and a picture of Martin Luther King. Huge picture. It says Martin Luther King was a Republican. So whoever wanted to shove that down people's throats, they did. And Martin Luther King talked about the origins. Look it up on YouTube. And again, I'm not knocking you, cabron. I'm not trying to, none of that shit. Yeah, you're a real one, cabron. Keep on commenting. Keep subscribed. Pato. He described in videos on how that's the origins and used that heavily as a huge talking point to the black community. And some listened, some didn't. It is what it is. That's that community. I had a great conversation with the G. Lou show. Shout out to mi hermano G. Lou. Would love to have him back on, but I would love to do a West Side Wednesday first. Rising warrior, follow your own advice. Órale. I'm not America first. I'm America. Oh, that's right, cabrón, huh? That's right, man. 305 engine first and then 79 Mali reboot. Damn, cabrón. Now, the Regals used to have 305s too. I remember that. I had a Regal, Monte Carlo. I want to say one of them had a, oh, was it a 285 though? It could have been a 285 and I thought it was a 305, but I had two G bodies. G bodies are my favorite way. When I started this tramp, que se pide el. My bad, cabrón. You just, you missed me with that one. Dixiecrats made the Triple K known as Democrats. Again, there's videos all over it, guys. All you got to do is just fucking research it. Just research it. It's all out there. Do you think Trump is a man of character, honesty, and integrity? Darlene, I can't never be 100% on anybody. I don't know. Can anyone say they know the man except God and his family? Can no one really say they know anyone? What we always have to do in every election is pick the lesser of the two evils. One of them, the person you just mentioned, has a track record we can analyze. The other one has been in office for a lot of years and has no accomplishments. And then the accomplishment, she used to brag about locking up hundreds of thousands of blacks and Mexicans to run for her prosecution office. And now she doesn't want to mention it. She used to say, let's take their guns away. And now she's saying, I'm not going to do that. So she's a perfect politician, and the other person is not. The other person, we've already seen a track record. All I'm telling the people is don't vote with your feelings. Let the raza just buy homes, save money, let it turn into a not a job seeker market that it is right now. More people looking for jobs than there is jobs, but let it turn into a job market where there's fucking jobs everywhere because people are hiring now because business is exploding. That's all I'm saying. And then after the 4 years, if you want to trash this fucking place just because you would love to see rainbows everywhere or unicorns flying through California, that's fine. That's fine. Me and the wifey will just make California a vacation spot and not live here. But just give the raza 4 more years. Go back and listen to, if you want to know about politics, everything, guns and this, abortion. And we went deep into it on, go back about 2 months or a month, and you'll see four people on the thumbnail. Me, Miss Chicano Tube, the chairwoman for the RNHA Hispanic Assembly, and Pete Hernandez, us four in the thumbnail. That will cover every single gray area that the raza has, and it'll cover a lot of the brainwashing. And we're not leaning anyone on that video to go this or to go that. All we're doing is speaking facts and let the people decide. I think his character is upfront, in my humble opinion. Well, I mean, someone that has billions of dollars, didn't have. This is fucking crazy, man. He almost, he almost gets killed twice. He almost gets killed twice, and he still wants to help the people. This is crazy. This and the people that are doing this thing, they want him to, right? He's a threat. He's a threat. He's a threat. You guys had power before his presidency. You guys had power 16 out of the last 20 years. And the country could have been in a much better position because you guys had power for 16, I don't want to get political, out of the last 20 years. So we ain't really buying everything. We seen a housing crash. We seen record unemployment and record inflation right now. I think it's time for a change. But people think that I hang off a cliff on someone. I speak for the community, the barrio, for the young women that have to work 3 jobs. God forbid they get sick and can barely make ends meet. For apartments, 2-bedroom apartments that are now renting for $3,000. Giving away free money to anyone that comes into this country, 25,000 for first-time owners. It sounds good, but it's going to cause another housing bubble and prices will go up again. So anyways, check out Trump's record. That's right. That's right. Mi amiga Jenny Selby's in the casa. Mi amiga Chicana from the 619. I appreciate you. Hernandez. What made me fucking pause when I had Kiawi, mi hermano Kiawi on the channel, was when he said when the Spanish came was greater massacre than the Holocaust. All that did to me was make me intrigued. What were the numbers then? What were the numbers? If anyone, if I mean, we can never be 100 on anything. Numbers could be skewed as well. But what were the numbers then? How many got, unalived and arred and assaulted and ravaged? And if you had to guess, because he said that, and I was like, shit, was that true? Greater than that happened in Israel. Of course, the diaspora, and they went everywhere, but they started putting them together because they absolutely inhumanely wanted to erase that race. That's crazy shit. But when he said it was bigger than that, I would love to have someone break that down to me. Break it down. I'm still voting Sureño Blue. Oh man, that's right, cabron. Hey, you do you, cabron. You know what I mean? But just like I tell the youngsters, I don't know if you're a youngster, I don't know how old you are or whatever like that. Just like I tell the youngsters, hey, be proud of where you're from, cabron. Wear it on your chest, blast it on your body. But at the end of the day, cabron, just make the right choices. Just think about your future way. Just think about it. Because I stared at a wall for a lot of years, 10, thinking I was a tough guy. And at the end of the day, dad passed away, grandma passed away, all my loved ones are passing away. And I went back to the same fucking empty room all my life. And no one told me about making choices. So yeah, sureño, norteño, all that, you do you. I don't see color no more. Red and blue makes green. Viva la raza. MAGA thinks Trump is president running the country with the military. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I've heard people say Republicans use fear mongering or say, everything's going to crumble. Everything's going to. And then I've heard other talking points on the other side. This guy's evil. This guy's evil. One side, I mean, the Democratic side doesn't even give you their policies or what they're going to do to fix shit. All they do is gossip and cheese man, point fingers. He's bad. He's bad. He's bad. Then the Republicans, of course, there's some lightweight fear mongering a little bit that everything is this and that, but it's based on facts. You can't say they're not basing it on fact. At least they're basing it on facts. And I'm not saying they're fear mongering all the time. I'm just saying this is what public opinion has been. So I'm looking at both sides and I'm like, shit, we just need 4 years of prosperity, man. After that, fuck it, put in Bernie Sanders and everyone can fucking get sex changes for free. And then our taxes will go to 50% instead of 30. If that's what you want, that's fine. Just give us 4 years of prosperity, man. Shit. You think Dems are evil? Absolutely not. No, I wouldn't say that because, amiga, that's just a person's personal political views. What's more important than a person's personal political views is the heart that's inside the person. Me and my wife were just talking about this. The greatest wedding photographer on planet Earth. Okay, it's like 75 hundo just for his class. My wife took his class and it changed her game. She came back here and had a chokehold on all these photographers, and all these fucking photographers were licking her boots. His name is Jerry Guionis. He's Greek and Australian, and he's hard blue, hard left. This guy has the biggest heart. I haven't seen another person with a bigger heart on planet Earth than this guy. And he's all the way blue on everything. So again, it's just politics. We got to vote though. I am going to do a special live on November 5th, Raza. I'm going to do a special live. Let's put all of the, what's it called? The policies out there one more time. Guns, this, the economy, that. And then by that time, a lot of you guys will already be 8 a.m. voting in line. Some of you guys will be in line, maybe hearing my live. I want to do it sometime in the middle of the day. That way I could at least reach the people one more time. If I do it just at nighttime, fuck, everyone's already going to be voted. And here we are in about 4, 5, 6 hours. We'll know we got 4 more years or we got a new president. Rising Warrior says, here is a fact. You guys are keeping me on the live. I'm not going to go if you guys keep commenting. Here's the fact. The U.S. economy does so much better under Democrats than Republicans. Pull out the facts, Wayne. Pull out which Democratic president had the best economy and the numbers. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Because the people just don't want to hear shit, throw shit out there. And I will too. I will too. PDS will put it up on the Pinchy Live and all that shit. But the reason Bobby Kennedy left the Democratic Party is he says he didn't recognize it anymore. They used to be the party for blue collar workers. and the people. But now it's about rainbows, unicorns, sex changes, boys and girls bathrooms, and these are the things that they hang on, and they hardly ever talk of how they're going to stimulate the economy. We've seen Kamala already knock off a few policies that Uncle Trump did, and he's like, shit, might as well just give her a MAGA hat. Again, to each his own. But all this other bullshit about, uh, someone said that basketball player Caitlin Clark, they did an article, CNN. Of course, it has to be CNN. Again, I'm not knocking it. I'm just putting facts out, you guys. You guys fucking digest it how you want to digest it. She put a statement out and it said she saw a MAGA hat in the crowd and instantly felt fear and afraid. I mean, cut it out. Por favor, man. Cut it out, please. Gente, please. Let's not be like that. Come on now. There's some people that are mentally unstable, but to each his own. The poorest states are run republic is Rising Warrior. I appreciate you, cabron. Communism unalived. Oh shit. What do you think about Waltz and Vance debate? Is that this week? Is that this week? I'm not sure. Vance, that's pinchy güero. He looks like a he looks like a Gerber baby, huh? He looks like a grown up pinchy Gerber baby. Oh, dark, I mean, blue eyes. Um, it's the best person for the job at the end of the day. That's who I want to go for. Skin color, los güeros. I don't know about all that. I'm sure it still exists, but I don't know about just some of these pages that just pump it, pump it, pump it. All this white this, and white that, and white this. And what they're gonna do is really they're just planting a seed inside of you. So when you see a fucking güero, like you're gonna have a disdain in your heart. I don't see güeros like that. Matter of fact, when I went to school, 50% of the class were blonde hair and blue eyed kids. And we all kicked it. All of us kicked it. Middle school, high school, even though I only went like 6 months. Middle school, high school, we all kicked it. So I don't see widows like that. And no one's opinion is going to sway me. And even if it's a hardcore advocate that is fucking till the casket drops, is going to hang his flag and die on this hill, that the widows are all evil, it's not going to persuade me based on my experience. The widows are cool. I mean, come on now. But anyways, Mexicans always get across. Oh man, the Wedos run the program. I mean, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna go against the grain? You know what I mean? The Wedos run the program. But here we are in a country, just like I posted on my IG story. That is a gold nugget from an investor. Buy a house, live in it 2 years. Buy pull out a HELOC, buy another property, live in that one 2 years. Now you got one rental, two properties. Live in the second one 2 years, pull out a HELOC on that one, buy a third property. Now you have two rentals, turn it into four rentals, five rentals. You bought five properties in 10 years. Fuck. It's I mean, you gotta either not want it or be a huevon, and we should take advantage of it. And these are things that the fucking güeros have laid out. It's a beautiful thing. Fool, it's Woodtober. Yeah, but Prison Point of View, he's another clickbait channel. I mean, I think, why did he wolf? And we went back and forth 2, 3 times. Buzz was ready to run Woodtober, and then he disappeared. So, I mean, I hate to put him in the clickbait category, but anyone that says something on a video, and then if you say something on a video and you don't do it on a video so we could see, your clickbait. Or you end up like Alvin. Droops leaves the hater world. And then the Banda world, the Paisa world, then he says, did I lose Droops? Are you kidding? They really, I think they're doing those captions for 12-year-olds. I think they're doing those captions for 10-year-olds so they could watch their channels. I don't know. It's confusing. Anyways, you guys. All right, we're going to wrap this up, man. Commercial spaces earn more than habitations. Yes, commercial real estate is another animal. It's another monster, cabrón. Okay, that's you could have a commercial listing sit on the market for years. Wait, you don't do a standard 3 or 6 month listing, which it only takes me 30 days. In 30 days, we're gonna get multiple offers. You'll get the most money. Bam, you love me. I'm your best friend. You got a realtor for life. But commercial listings are different because the financial reports, a lot of investors are very meticulous on the financial. They don't want slight little black profit margins. They don't want like a 3% cap or 5% cap. when you purchase a home what your ROI is going to be. They want like a fucking 15-20% cap. But anyways, start start buying houses. I got my house in Reno and still got my other house in Watson. The tia got a manufactured home in Reno, I think for $90K. It's worth 4 times that. It doesn't mean she's gonna sell. I don't recommend selling unless you have rentals that you're trying to cash out on. It's about accumulating wealth. Damn, this pinche avion is crazy. Check this out. That pinche plane right there. That's crazy, huh? The hell's going on? They're bombing us, cabrón. All right, live on Chicano too. What are you guys talking about, man? No one cares. Hey, I appreciate you, Georgie. Hey, I appreciate the comment. Gracias, cabrón. Yeah, but that's what Chicanos are. So, anyways, let's go ahead and cut this one off, you guys. That's why everyone can listen on the replay what the crux of the whole video was. Our Chicanos, we're not confused. I'm not confused. No one's ever told me I'm not Chicano because they know I am, because I check all the boxes. And so, if you want to hear it from a source, I appreciate you guys that tune in and hear me out when I tell you Chicanos are nothing more than Americans with Mexican descendancy. Punto. It's done. You want to add more to it? Throw me your amendments that you want me to add, and maybe I'll consider making an amendment to that statement. But that statement will be true now and will stand the test of time and be true forever. Live on Chicano Tube, live on Chicano Street. You guys, I appreciate you guys. On Wednesday night, be looking out for that thumbnail. Got a special guest. Let's go ahead and keep the conversation going. I appreciate you guys. Everyone have a great day. Rick Rios is in the casa. I appreciate you, my boy. We got Bakersfield. Bakers is in the casa. I appreciate you guys, man. But yeah, we got the air show going on right now. It just looked crazy. That looked like it was gonna let go a fucking bomb, bro. That was crazy, huh? And it would have been it. That would have been it. I would have went to go see the Lord. Live on Chicano Street, you guys. I'll let you guys go. Remember what I always say? Remember what I always say. Oh, and if you didn't hit the like button, that's all I ask, cabrones, is take a second. I'll take another minute right now just because it helps out the channel, gente. Hit the X. Hit the X on the chat right now. Just do me a favor. Hit the X on the chat and then hit the like button. And then you could go back and click the chat, and the chat will pop right up. I promise it won't disappear anywhere. But the like really helps the channel out. We got a lot of new subscribers. I mean, it was just 500 in the last month. That's because of you guys. Hit that pinchy like, you guys. I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. We'll probably do a pop up tomorrow and see what you guys want to talk about. I'll look at your comments and we'll go from there. Remember what I always say? Remember what I always say. In the end, all you got is the memories.